Yo folks, welcome back to another episode of GGS2 Case 4. We just had a little chat with Mr. Barok there, as you can see, and he is very, very reluctant about us defending him at this point in time, but I'm sure we will find a way to change his tune, otherwise this will be a very short case if we weren't able to actually defend him. I think the game would just end if we weren't supposed to defend him, so let's go ahead and head to the High Chief's office for now. Get some more information out of him, perhaps. Same day, unspecified time, the High Court of Justice, Chief Magistrate's office. It seems you made it just in time.
I chartered a special express train to get me to London.
I hear Lord Vortex's voice. He seems to be speaking with someone. Gee, I wonder who! And what of the preparations? So, if Barok is our defendant, I wonder who's gonna be the prosecutor! Oh boy!
I went through all the materials in the train compartment.
That's... Kazuma-sama! Oh, it's you two! Perfect timing! Right. Perhaps you've heard, a truly terrifying incident occurred today. A murder committed by the Grim Reaper. Yes. Certainly. You don't believe he actually did it, do you, Lord Vortex? You don't believe that Van Ziek-sama killed Gregson-sama? The only thing I believe are the facts. And as far as I can tell by looking at the facts, we need to indict Lord Van Zieks as the Grim Reaper who came for our country's legendary detective. But... Tomorrow is the beginning of the International Scientific Investigation Symposium. Though this pains me greatly, I'd at least like to show the world a swift, fair trial from our nation's courts. So the trial will start tomorrow? Indeed. Ah, this would be a good opportunity. Allow me to introduce you to someone. I don't think he needs an introduction, but please, go ahead. Hey buddy, where have you been? Asogi. Okay, no, seriously, where have you been the last couple days if not in London? I'm a little concerned. Oh, right. You three already know each other. This is Asogi Kazuma. Tomorrow's trial will be prosecuted by him. Yep! But... what? Asogi? Is that legal? Okay, we saw this coming when we saw Barok was in, like... We saw this coming because Barok is, like, the defendant. So who else would be prosecuting? It's no doubt his apprentice, which would be Asogi. But also, like, is that even legal? As you know, he's a very skilled lawyer. A defense attorney, yes. Kazuma-sama, a prosecutor? Yeah, me too. I like how he's just gonna loom in the background now. My heart. Tomorrow's trial. As I'm sure you can imagine, tomorrow's trial will be the focus of attention throughout all of London. No, throughout the whole of the Great British Empire. So you're gonna have two Japanese foreigners be the defense attorney and the prosecutor? You're not gonna, like, have some British person demonstrate the power? Sorry! I'm just like, okay. I think I read that line right. No defendant has ever lived after being prosecuted by the Grim Reaper of Old Bailey. But this time, it'll be the Grim Reaper himself who's on trial. Yes, The citizens want to know the secret behind the Grim Reaper. The secret to the mysterious deaths of the defendants who've received not guilty verdicts in his trials.
But Lord Van Zieks himself said he had nothing to do with any of them.
Besides, a thorough investigation was concluded, and as I recalled, he was proven not guilty. You're correct about that. Until now, that is.
Huh?
After tomorrow's trial, I anticipate a new page in the annals of our nation's legal history. Sure. Asogi the prosecutor. That's weird to read.
Asogi Kazuma will be prosecuting?
Precisely.
But Kazuma-sama is a defense attorney.
A truly outstanding lawyer can stand on whichever side of the courtroom he likes. That is definitely not legal. Okay, Vortex. Additionally, he's taking up the prosecution's bench with a full understanding of defense tactics. Awfully formidable, wouldn't you agree? That's just terrifying. That's true. It's not hard to imagine Asogi being incredibly skilled even as a prosecutor.
However, why Kazuma-sama? Surely the Great British Empire has other outstanding prosecutors at its disposal.
I requested the position myself. I want to prosecute this trial.
You did? But why?
You'll understand everything tomorrow. I suppose you intend to participate in tomorrow's trial as well? Although, apparently the Grim Reaper has rejected all defense attorneys.
Regardless, the fact that such a request was accepted seems entirely unprecedented, or perhaps I should say, abnormal.
I'm pretty sure Asogi wants to prosecute because he wants revenge, and I'm not sure that's a good idea. You are indeed correct, however. The trial itself will be completely unprecedented and abnormal. After all, the defendant is the pride of the Great British Empire and an outstanding prosecutor. It would be ill-advised to allow the citizens of London to see us judging our own men. Man, not men. And that's why you're letting Asogi, a foreigner, prosecute him.
Naruhodō. It's time you showed me the skills you've sharpened in this foreign imperial city.
Asogi. You're not gonna let go of that bloodlust, are you, my friend? The murder weapon. Come to think of it, we found the murder weapon lying on the floor at the crime scene. Does it really belong to Lord Van Zieks? You should be able to learn that by asking one of the detectives at the crime scene. Well, you see, I was told that she wasn't sure and that I should ask a higher up.
You just blurted that right out, didn't you, Naruhodō-sama?
That model of pistol is issued to those involved with the police. Naturally, that includes members of the prosecutor's office. Does Asogi have a gun too now? I'm asking important questions here.
In that case, wouldn't it be possible that it's actually the victim's pistol?
No, Detective Gregson still had his own pistol on him. And what about Lord Van Zieks' pistol? He says he doesn't have it right now. Of course. What? According to the man himself, he lost it. To put it another way, he's suspicious.
But it's only the same model of pistol. That's not proof that it's actually his.
True, there's no proof. Sounds like Lord Van Zieks is in a pretty painful situation. Uh-huh. Okay, well, now we're gonna go talk to, Mr. Partner over here. Hey, buddy, what's up?
Sorry I worried you, but everything's fine now.
Is it? Is it really? Have you regained all your memories?
Yeah, thanks to you, I've remembered everything. Including what I came to this Imperial City to do.
I'm filled with emotions because of this song! Huh?
Kazuma-sama. I'm so glad you're alive. But however did you make it to London without any memories?
I heard a voice. I've been hearing it all year. A single voice in my head this whole time. Go to the Great British Empire. Your mission is waiting for you there. I wound up here in London, as if guided by that voice.
Oh, you poor thing.
It's true that my memories have returned. But I've lost other things that I can't ever get back.
Huh? What do you mean, Asogi?
I'm a member of the prosecutor's office now. That means we can't be on such close terms anymore.
We're best friends! Who cares about protocol? Ah, that hurts. Their friendship hurts my soul. This whole thing hurts. This seems to be the extent of information I can get from here for now. Well, Lord Vortex, thank you very much. I'm sure tomorrow's trial will make English legal history. You might as well take this opportunity to learn a thing or two from the gallery. Heck no! In that case, we'll be excusing ourselves now.
One moment, Naruhodō.
Asogi?
Let me just say one thing before you go. I'm grateful to you.
Kazuma-sama.
You took my mission to heart and crossed the great ocean to get here. And you fulfilled your role splendidly.
To study law in the Great British Empire in order to change the Japanese judicial system. That was your dream. That was what you set out to do.
And now, I have one more thing that I must do.
Eh?
I have a favor to ask of you, Naruhodō.
You know, you asked Naruhodō for a lot of favors, Asogi. Just saying. But what is it?
I want you to bear witness to the verdict of the trial that I am going to prosecute tomorrow. From right across from me, the defense's bench.
What's he planning?
Now that you made it to this point, I'm sure you can do it.
But there's no way Lord Van Zieks will let me defend him.
That's where you're wrong. He accepts you.
Huh?
It's not always easy to see what's truly in a person's heart. Look at this.
This is Van Zeke-sama and Detective Gregson-sama.
It looks like a pretty old picture. I wonder who this other man is. I'm pretty sure that's his brother!
It was lovingly displayed in that detective's office.
In Detective Gregson's office?
If you claim to believe in that Grim Reaper, then you have to face this head on. It might change things. Take it.
Gregson's photo. A memorial photo said to have been lovingly displayed in Detective Gregson's office. Why are you giving me this?
Hurry, Naruhodō. The visiting hours at the detention center are nearly over.
Asogi. He really wants to fight his bro, okay? Alright, we're gonna go back to the detention center now that we have that piece of evidence. Maybe now Barok will actually talk to us. Same day, unspecified time, detention center, the solitary cell number 1. Looks like Prosecutor Van Zeke is still reading his letter.
I feel like quite a bit of time has passed since our last visit.
Either he's a surprisingly slow reader, or the letter is surprisingly long. Maybe I'm faster at reading and writing English than he is. I'd intended to ignore you completely, but I think your last comment crossed a line, Japanese boy. Sorry! You heard that? I was reading over these case files I had secretly delivered in order to stave off boredom.
Your trial is tomorrow, isn't it?
That's none of your concern. So, did you find a lawyer? Don't make me repeat myself. It's none of your concern. Looks like he still hasn't chosen anyone.
It seems that the prosecutor for tomorrow's trial has been selected.
I can't say I'm surprised, though I haven't been informed of who it will be. Well, the prosecutor in charge will be Asogi Kazuma. Did you say Asogi? Lord Van Zeke's. I guess even he's shaken. It would seem that I need to hear what you have to say once more. Oh, come on, you like this. Someone is talking to you, Asogi. 10 years ago, my elder brother, the High Prosecutor, was murdered. And the identity of the scum responsible was an exchange student from the Far East. Asogi. Not a day has gone by that I've been able to forget that name.
Asogi Genshin, Kazuma-sama's father.
What a twist of fate, to think that 10 years later, I'd find myself in a kangaroo court prosecuted by his son. Lord Vortex put him at your side as your apprentice. This is him we're talking about. I'm sure he knew that man's identity all along.
I wonder what Vortex-sama's intention was.
Asogi just regained his memories after that trial 8 days ago. Why would Lord Vortex allow him to prosecute in that state? Asogi, huh? That name is like a curse to me. A curse known as the Japanese. The Japanese. The curse known as the Japanese. It happened 10 years ago when I was a newly minted prosecutor. My brother Crimmett was the high prosecutor at the time and was hot on the trail of that serial killer.
You mean the professor?
And the person working with him on the investigation as his partner, that legal studies exchange student dispatched by Scotland Yard.
By which you mean Asogi Genshin, right?
Precisely. Genshin possessed a spirit of nobility, not unlike that of our knights, and I respected that. However, none of us were able to see him for what he really was. The conclusion of that trial robbed me of everything that mattered to me. The brother I respected, the man I believed in, and even justice.
How terrible.
In order to avenge my brother, I prosecuted Asogi's trial. Normally such a thing would never have been allowed, but I begged to be made the prosecutor in charge.
The prosecutor in charge?
The leading investigative authority in the professor's murders was Lord Heart Vortex.
Oh. What? Lord Vortex?
At the time, he was an outstanding, authoritative prosecutor. He allowed me to take the prosecutor's bench in his place and assisted me. Since then, he's been the only person I could call a benefactor.
His name keeps coming up in weird places. I'm sure he was persuaded by your passion.
And then time passed, and this year you arrived here in our imperial capital. And as a defense attorney, of all things.
I was acutely aware of your hatred in the first trial I defended for. Your intense hatred toward the Japanese.
I realize it's an irrational emotion. However, regardless of how many years pass, I simply can't rein in this hatred.
Now that I understand the reason, I can't say I blame you.
Just that the Japanese are like a curse to me. The Asogi Kazuma, I'm the Grim Reaper who robbed his father of his life. I'm sure tomorrow's trial will be used in order to get his revenge against me. Yep, I think that's what was his intention, and Vortex is perfectly fine with this.
Detective Gregson.
His transfer to Parisian office police had finally been set for next month, and it was just around the corner. No doubt he would have been filled with regret.
Come to think of it, I do recall Detective Gregson mentioning that. Is that a regular occurrence? Overseas transfers, I mean.
I've never heard of such a thing.
Huh?
The Parisian police accepting an English detective. Inconceivable. Just what sort of sorcery did Gregson use in order to pull this off?
Looks like this is a great enough mystery to even puzzle the Grim Reaper. By the way, we feel we've done him a disservice by not being aware, but we heard recently that Detective Gregson-sama was legendary within Scotland Yard. Of course, play his theme.
It was 10 years ago that he really started making a name for himself. He revealed the true identity of the professor with a piece of decisive evidence. And the thing that allowed him to discover that evidence was a certain viewpoint of his.
Viewpoint?
When Crimmett was killed, he insisted that an autopsy be performed on the body.
What? Autopsies were being performed 10 years ago? What do you mean?
At the time, autopsies were considered discretion of the dead and were rarely performed. Not only that, but Crimmett was an aristocrat. Performing an autopsy was unthinkable. However, in the process of his private investigation, Gregson caught wind of something. His beliefs swayed the House of Lords, and I was able to avenge my brother.
So then, you must have trusted Detective Gregson, right? And that means there's no way you would have murdered him.
I don't trust anyone.
Huh?
And I'm sure Gregson felt the same towards me. He likely saw me as nothing more than a sinister Grim Reaper.
Prosecutor Van Zieks and Detective Gregson. What was their relationship really like?
I don't know, let's show him a photo and we'll find out. Lord Van Zieks' pistol.
After the pistol that was discovered at the crime scene.
Right. That's not mine.
But everyone's saying it is.
How do you expect me to react to that information?
According to what we heard from Vortex-sama, you lost yours.
As embarrassing as it is, that's the truth.
When did you lose it?
I don't know.
Great! Huh?
I was given that pistol when I was made a prosecutor 10 years ago, but I put it away somewhere, and at some point it vanished. Somehow I'm reminded of
careless Naruhodō-sama.
Hey! Don't use me as a point of reference out of nowhere like that! Pardon me, but I'd appreciate if you didn't put me on the same level as this Japanese boy. Holy crap, you two.
It looks like the gulf between you two is just as deep as I fear.
It's not proof of anything, but it sure doesn't help. Oh my god, that's cute. Okay, let's present the photo now.
Prosecutor Van Zieks, about this.
This photo. It was taken when I received my letter of appointment as a prosecutor. I never had imagined that there was still a copy floating around.
This person standing on the left, is he...
Grimmet Van Zieks, my brother.
Gregson's photo, a photo that was displayed in Detective Gregson's office. The man on the left is Lord Grimmet Van Zieks. So I was right. I heard that this photo was lovingly displayed on Detective Gregson's desk. He really respected you. Did you know that?
He respected me? That's ridiculous.
I can get a witness who can testify to that. One by the name of Inspector Gina Lestrade.
That's right. I remember now. There was a time when things were like this. A time when we stood side by side, laughing together as we discussed the future of our judicial system. I'm glad you showed me this. Thank you.
I can't help feeling like I'm the one who got shown something good. Something in Prosecutor Van Zieks' eyes lit up for a moment and told me the story of the true nature of the man they call the Grim Reaper.
Mr. Naruhodō. He said his name!
That's the first time he's ever called me by my name.
I don't trust the English judicial system. Not the police, nor prosecutors, nor defense attorneys. However, naturally, even among those, there are some who deserve to be trusted.
Trust.
I can tell when I face them in court. I know what the eyes of someone who selflessly seeks the truth look like.
Lord Van Zieks.
In this year since I've met you, we've exchanged countless words in the midst of our battles in the Supreme Court. And in the process, I came to realize that I had no choice but to accept you, even as I told myself I couldn't. I accepted that this defense attorney, in spite of being Japanese, whom I hated, was worthy of trust. What is it? I knew 2 other men with eyes like yours. One of them was my elder brother, Kermit Van Zeeks. The other was Asogi Genshin. A man he used to respect, and a man who betrayed his trust, huh? When you showed me that old photo a moment ago, I remembered. You mean this? The reason I was able to smile so innocently back then was because I was still able to trust people. I feel as though that's what allowed me to believe in what future had in store, and keep my eyes fixed straight ahead. If you trust no one, you can't be betrayed. However, when you stop trusting, you trap yourself in the darkness and become unable to move forward. Lord Van Zeeks. Mr. Naruhodō. Right now, just this once, I want to try putting my faith in what I see in your eyes. Might I ask you to defend me in my trial tomorrow?
Of course, Lord Van Zeeks. Gladly. Naruhodō-sama.
I'm counting on you.
I'm sure that to Lord Van Zeeks, that required an unimaginable amount of resolve. So I have to make sure not to let him down. Tomorrow in the Supreme Court, where Asogi Kazuma awaits me.
What a first day one. I'm emotional. This last portion of this investigation is full of emotions with Asogi and then Barok saying his name. Finally, he acknowledges him. Bless. Alright, we're gonna go ahead and tackle the trial in the next video. I'll see you guys then. Oh boy.
Including what I came to this imperial city to do. Challenge children to a card game.